Tracy. Hi, Sonia. Hi, other Tracy. Oh, double trouble. Hi, Sue. Hi, Dee.
Hi. Oh, Dee. Oh.
Every time. It's become a thing now. We'll have to introduce Dee to where it came from one day, I think. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Louise. Oh, this is telling me that there's 6 new comments, but I can't see them.
Yeah.
So if you're here and I haven't said hello, I apologise profusely.
It's not multitasking.
Yes, I agree, Tracy. Definitely trouble when there's 2 of you. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Right, it says 8 new comments, but I can't see them.
Yeah, mine didn't multitask.
Hi, Jen. Oh, well, never mind. Right. Miracle of Miracles. I finished it. By the skin of my teeth this afternoon. The book is complete. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of pleased with it. It's kind of turned out okay.
What a bow.
Yes. So what I'm going to start off by doing tonight is I'm going to walk you through it. I have actually done a walkthrough video. I just need to tidy it up a bit, which I'll post up tomorrow. Because this is a bit weird, like not finishing the book until we're kind of like, on page 3 or class 3. I apologise for that. But anyway, it is complete. So it is 8.5 by 9 inches, I think. Something like, I've lost my ruler already. I had it just 2 minutes ago. Oh, I don't know, whatever. By 2.5. And I haven't done anything really fancy on the front. I've used Let It Be paper by Graphic 45. And I've kept it fairly simple. But I've done my usual trick of layering up the front. So because you get a couple of sheets of each paper, I've fussy cut lots out and hide them up, and I've used glossy accents, which took Mark by surprise because he'd never seen them before. I don't even know how that can be.
But it's just the fact I haven't seen you.
I don't know. Hi, Carla. Hi, Kimberly. The thing was, you see, it was like, I don't use glossy accents because they take forever to dry. So with the weather being so flipping hot this week, I figured that would be okay. It would dry quickly, which it really did. So that was all right. And then I put this beautiful big gingham bow on the front. And you can thank Sandy Yoder for this, because she showed me a couple of projects that she'd made with Let It Be, and she'd put this checked sort of gingham black and white ribbon on, and I thought how absolutely gorgeous it was. So I will show you how I made this bow, because it's got bits. It's in, it's a fancy one. I will show you how I made that at the end. But then when you open it up, I know I've been through some of this before, but we've got the just a very simple front and back cover. I haven't done anything on them. I've just used, pattern papers, and then all of these images of the flowers, etc. They're all fussy cut. Now, I used a whole pack, and literally there is nothing left. A whole pack of 12 by 12, the collection pack and stickers. I used a whole pack of the 12 by 12 patterns and solids. And I told you that we wouldn't be using much of the 8 by 8. Well, I lied, because I have 1 sheet left. So you need quite a bit of paper, really. So what we're going to be working on tonight is this page here. So we've got this open up flap bit here, which is what we're going to be doing there. The front, as I said here, I've just, layered up various bits. And then we have got 2 pages that have got these tags in. And this is the first and the last page. Hi, David. Okay, turn it over. No. Yeah, turn it over, and you've got these 2 pages. Now, I know I showed you one of these last week. We've got this one, because what I said was that we're not just looking at pop-up elements, but like pop-up elements that you can use for cards and stuff. So that's what I've done here. You'll find that the 4 sort of booklets are actually cards, really, I suppose, for want of a better description. But if you open this one up, you've got that little pop-up element there like that. Ever so easy to do. That goes into that pocket there. And then here, I don't think you've seen this one, but this is just a squished pop-up element like that. Okay, so that lifts up as well. And that just pops into that little pocket there. Turn it over. And then what I've done is I've kind of got this curved belly band. It is magnetized, and I didn't put a magnet on the resources list, so I'll update that. And then what I've got here, and you must have seen these, they're all over the place at the moment, these kind of like pyramid things. So it's like an accordion, so you just pull it and then you've got space for photos and you've got space for journaling, and it just kind of, you know, lifts up like that. So you've got this quite big space there to put things on, and I've just decorated that up with stickers and the fussy cut elements, and then I've got my magnet there. Now this bit, as you know, comes out, so we've got this little bit in the middle that comes out. But in this booklet, what I've done is I've used one of Mark's favourite, because we can't really have a pop-up book without Mark's favourite waterfalls. So we've got a waterfall on that side, and we've got a waterfall on that side too. And then inside the book, which I can never get it the right way around, you've got the middle bit that slots in, and then all I've done, I've just kept it really simple. I've just put these flappy bits on for photos on there, and then that just slips into there like that. So it looks like we've got another whole page there and a whole page there. This page, all I've done is there's no flippy flaps or pop-ups or anything on this. I've literally just used some of the pattern papers that are fussy cut. I've got a photo mat, and I've layered up these bits down here as well. You can't really see very well. I'll take some photos tomorrow so you can see better, but that is all layered up. Turn that over, and then we've got another one of these dual sort of like card things. And what we've got here is we've got one that opens up like that. So we've got this kind of pop-up-y card type thing that goes there. And then on the bottom here, obviously, I've raised all of those images up. And then there's this one, which is much thicker than I intended. So I'm going to have to do something about this pocket and just maybe make that a little bit wider. And then that opens out like, oh, I can't do it because it's on a weird angle. But that kind of opens out like that as... It's not going to... Oh, there we go. So that kind of opens out like that as well. So you've got that kind of pop-up-y, typey thing there as well. So that goes in there. Then you've got that other tag that I told you about. And then finally, we've got Mark's other favourite thing, which is this pop-up bit here. And I meant to put some photo mats on and I didn't get around to it. So that's that. So that's the book complete. And so far, we have got our base pages made. So tonight, what I want to do is work on our page number 1, which is the one with the flap that opens like that. Okay, so this is what we made last week. We made our base pages, and then we made the extra flips and flaps that go on there. Now, I only just decorated that with some pattern paper, and then I took some cut aparts and layered them up. So however you want to decorate that is entirely up to you. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to just use some any old paper just so that I can show you. I could do it straight onto the black because I'm not going to decorate this up like a proper book, but you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. So I've just grabbed some paper that isn't really much of anything, and I am going to decorate up these 2 pages. So this is going to have to be the first thing that we do when I find my ruler. Here it is we need to cut pattern paper to cover this bit and this bit. So that will be 7 by 9 and 6 by 9. Okay, so you're just going to cut your pattern paper to start with. So this is, I'm just going to do this just so that you can see what I'm doing. So that one's 7 by 9. I'm not going to have enough to do. Well, I am if I bodge it. I'm going to bodge this a bit because of paper. Because I'm not making the book. I just need to show you how it kind of goes together. So I'm just going to glue my backing paper onto my page like that on there. Hi, Ali. Oh, my glue's brand new this afternoon. Let's pop that in there. Okay. And then this one over here. Like that. I mean, obviously, if you're, what paper you're using, you might want to be rather more careful than I am, because those don't line up. Not that it matters particularly, but it might bother you. So I'm just going to put some on that end there as well, just to finish covering it. Okay. Right. Okay, so that's my pattern paper on there like that. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to make the pop-up elements that go on here. So what I suggest we do is we cut them all out, then score them, and then put them together. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side. So what you need to do now is get your cardstock. Okay, so with your cardstock, I want you to cut one at 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So cut one at 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. That seems awfully short. Let me just have a look and see if I've managed to get my first one wrong. Oh no, that's right. Okay, so 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. Then I want you to cut one at 9 by 4 1/2 inches. Okay, so 9 by 4 1/2 inches. Okay, so you've got that piece and you've got that piece. Okay, then I want you to cut two at 5 1/4 by 4 1/2. So 2 at 5 1/4 by 4 1/2. So 2 at 5 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay. Hi, Sue.
And Anne on YouTube.
Oh, hi, Anne on YouTube. Hi, Alison. Nice to see you. Hi, Lynn.
Really?
Lynn? No, I said hi, Lynn. Hi, Lynn's here. Okay, right. We'll worry about the photo mats later on. But then I want you to cut two at 4 1/8 by 3 1/8. And I know this is an odd size, but 4 by 3 is a good size for a photo or a cut apart. And if you add 1/8 of an inch onto that, it gives you a reveal. So 4 1/8 by 3 1/8, and you need two of those. And I'll show you where these go in a minute. So just bear with me for a minute, okay? So 4 1/8 by 3 1/8, and you need two of those. Okay, and then I want you to cut two at 1 1/2 by 3 1/2 inches.
We have a third Tracy in the house.
Oh no.
3 in a row.
So 1.5 by 3.5. Okay. Right, so put your trimmer away for a bit because the only thing that we've still got to cut is the photo mats, and we'll do that last. But grab your scoreboard. Okay. Now, I'm going to start with the first one that we cut out, which was 4.25 by 3.25. Let's have a look. 4.25 by 3.25. Okay. And I want you to score on the 4.25 inch side. So that means 4.25 at the top. And I want you to score at 2 1/8, which is basically right down the middle. Okay. Then when you've done that, I want you to turn it 90 degrees. So you're scoring on the 3.25 inch side. And I want you to score at 1/2 inch. So what you've got here is you've got your piece that has got a score line right down the middle, and then it's got a 1/2 inch at the bottom. And look, you can see there's a little cross where those score lines intersect, okay? All right, so put that to one side. Then we're going to work on the biggest piece, which was 9 by 4.5. So I want you to score on the 9 inch side. So that's 9 at the top, and we're going to score this in half as well. So we're going to score at 4.5 inches, okay? Then I want you to turn it 90 degrees. So we're scoring on the 4.5 inch side. And I want you to score at 1/2 inch. So this is exactly like the piece that we've just done, but it's bigger. Okay, so a score line right down the middle, and then a score line at the bottom. Okay, all right.
I'm having technical problems.
Oh dear. Then we've got these two pieces. These were, let me see what size these were. These were 5.25 by 4.5. So I want you to score on the 5.25 inch side at 1/2 inch and at 4.75 inches. And then on the 4.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. So what you've got here is a very simple pocket, and it's got 3 intersecting score lines, okay? And we're going to do exactly the same with the other one. So we're scoring on the 5.25 inch side, so that's 5.25 at the top. And we're going to score at 1/2 inch. And we're going to score at 4.75 inches. Then we're going to turn it round and we're going to score on the 4.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. This is a simple pocket, okay? We've made loads of these before. You'll be delighted to hear that these next two pieces that were 4 1/8 by 3 1/8, we ain't scoring on those. So that leaves you these two funny little things. And what we're going to do is we're going to score on the 3.5 inch side at 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches, and 3 inches. Okay? Easy. Yeah. Same on the other one. We're going to score at 1, 1.5, 2.5, and 3. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see that, but that's what we've got. All right. So we've got our little one, which was the very, very first one that we scored. Okay. And what I want you to do is I want you to grab your bone folder and I want you to grab a pair of scissors. Hold on, just let me get rid of this paper. So a pair of scissors and a bone folder. I'm going to use my little one actually. And what I want you to do is fold it in half on that score line, okay? So you're going to fold it in half there on that score line and burnish it really, really well. Okay, so you've got a really sharp little crease there. Then I want you to take your scissors and I want you to miter, not kinky mitering, just ordinary mitering, like that, okay? So you can see this is where the score line is here at the bottom. And I want you to mitre that end, which is the open end, and that end, which is the not open end, okay? So when we open it up, we've got a piece that looks like this, okay? And then what I want you to do is you've got this bend, okay? You've got this fold here, but I want you to fold the flaps that we've just mitered, but inside. So it's going to stand up like that, okay? So now I'm just gonna burnish those two bits there, but you can see where this is going. Those are going to attach, those flaps are going to attach to our book, and that is going to sit like that, okay, with the fold, all right? So that is this very, very first bit. So when we open up our fold here, that is this bit here, okay? That's that. That's what we've just made, okay? All right, you with me so far? I'm going to put that over there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do pretty much exactly the same, but with the big one. So I want you to fold that in half. Make sure it's exactly in half, like that. Okay, let's just line it up and make sure it's in half. And I want you to burnish it really, really well. And I want you to do exactly the same again. I want you to nip off those corners like that. So that's what our piece looks like now, okay? And I want you to fold these pieces in so it's exactly the same as the last one, just bigger, okay? So that's going to sit like that. So I'm just going to burnish that because we want a nice sharp crease. So that is going to sit like that, okay? I'm going to put that to one side because what we're going to do now is we're going to make some pockets to go onto the front of that larger standing piece. So we've got these two pieces that, if you remember, we've scored on 3 sides. So what I want you to do now is I want you to kinky mitre those corners. So if you haven't worked with me before, when I say kinky mitering, I didn't think of this, by the way. Well, I didn't think of calling it this. Snip up to where your score lines intersect, then change the angle of your scissors and snip that corner off. So it's not a straight across mitre, it's got a kink in it. And the reason for that is because we don't want no bulges. And I find that even just going straight across, sometimes you can be left with a bit of a bulge when you fold your flaps over. And nobody likes a bulge in their flaps, generally. So that's why I do it that way. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold on those flaps and I'm going to burnish. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to take this piece and we've got our flaps behind, but we want to attach this pocket. Now, this pocket is ever so slightly narrower than the space that we've got here, than where the fold is. Okay, that is deliberate. It's not me measuring. I've done that absolutely deliberately. Okay, so I'm going to put this straight onto here. But what you might want to do is put a little bit of pattern paper to cover that gap before you glue this on, okay? So I'm going to glue that. I'm going to glue that onto there like that. But you see here that there is this gap, okay? Just it's about 1/4 of an inch, all right? So before you glue yours on, put a little strip of pattern paper on there, okay? Then you can glue this on. So I'm just going to glue mine straight on there now. Okay. So I'm just going to put some glue onto the flaps of the pocket. And I'm going to attach this to the far edge here, just above the score line. And I'm going to attach that pocket there like that. Okay. So when it stands, you'll see my pocket, but I've still got that flap that goes there. Okay. But you can see the pocket there. All right. Let's make sure that's stuck down really well. And now I'm going to do the same with the other side. So you need to put a little bit of pattern paper down here just to cover that gap. And I think probably with this class, this is going to be a case of watching and then maybe doing afterwards. So don't worry, this class is going to be, it'll stay on my YouTube. It'll be in here in Crafting Together with All Brands. So you can just watch it as often as you need to. So let me put that pocket on the opposite side. Okay, like that. Okay, so what I've got is my stand-up piece, and it's got those two pockets there, okay? Right. Now, you need to decorate this. That is your next job, okay? So decorate the front pocket, the back, and I want you to decorate as well this flap. So this is where it's going to glue. That underneath bit is where it's going to glue onto our page. But I want you to decorate that flap. I mean, you can leave it just plain, but it just looks a mess. So if you have a look at mine, you can actually see here, I've covered that in pattern paper. Okay. Now these, I can see these keep squishing, which is a pity, because these actually sit forward a little bit, and that's what we're going to do next. Okay. So what I want you to do next, after you've decorated that up, because it's far easier to decorate now before we put it in the book, okay, I want you to grab these funny little things that we made, okay? What are you talking about? Oh, hi, D. Other D. Oh, two Ds. Double D. I presume nobody said that yet. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do now is this little funny thin piece. We're going to fold it so that what we're going to make is a shape like that. So a little rectangular box. Okay. So I'm going to just burnish my folds like that. And then I'm going to put some glue on this first 1/2 inch flap there like that. And I'm going to pop that on there. So I've got a little rectangular tube. Okay. And I'm going to do that on both of them. Okay, so that is going to fit exactly the same way. So I'm going to put some glue onto that there. And I'm going to glue that onto there like that. So what I've got are these two little rectangular sort of tubes, I suppose, for want of a better description. Two little tubes. Right, so your next job is to decorate these. Now, these are just the right size to put like a small landscape cut apart on, or I've just used on mine, I just used some plain sort of the pattern papers. If you can see here, I've used some of the plain pattern papers, and then I've just used some of the fussy cut elements to, you know, to add in. So once you've done that and decorated that, we're going to go to this, back to this piece. Okay, so you've decorated up the front, these two little bits here, you've decorated up the back, and you've decorated up those bits there. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to take these pieces. You only need to decorate these on one side, in all honesty. You could put a little bit down the side because we're going to put these on here just slightly offset, but we're going to put them like that on top of this little funny thing that we've just made. Okay, so once you've decorated up these two pieces, what I want you to do is put some glue onto the back of your rectangle and just pop that onto the front like that. Okay, so that's just sitting on the front there. Just make sure that it sticks. Now you can fold it down like that because it will fold, because this is the whole point. It is gonna squish because we need it to. All right, and I want you to do the same on the other side as well. Okay, so you're just going to put that kind of in the corner, about 1/2 inch up and about 1/2 inch in, really. Okay, so you've got those two bits sticking out like that. Okay, right. What were you? Oh, have you brought me a drink? Oh, thank you, darling.
I thought, right, you sounded a bit grumpy.
I am a bit. Okay, so we've got these two pieces now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on the front of that rectangular bit, and I'm going to stick this piece onto it. Now I'm going to make sure that when it's standing up, this isn't any, this is at the same level as, you know, as when it's going to stand. So it doesn't need to be like down here. It needs to be at the same level as this flap. Okay, so let me just see what I'm doing, because I might have to do this. And I'm just going to put it, say, like 1/8 of an inch up. Okay, so when that's open, you can see it stands away from the pop-up, but it's just at the same length, same height at the bottom. Okay, so let me do the same on the other side as well. So some glue onto that, and I'm just going to eyeball this and just try and put it in the same place. So let's pop that up there, just glue that down, make sure it sticks.
Alison's asking what size of the bits you're sticking on.
These are the pieces that are 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so those now are on there like that. Okay, you can see that's how it goes. So when we go and glue those into our book, that's going to sit like that. This piece, I need you to decorate the front, the back, and that flap there. Okay, just like you've done on this one, because that is going to sit in front like that. So it kind of looks like a snow cleaner uppery thing. What are they called? Pardon me. The snow, you know, that cleans snow.
Clean snow?
Yeah, what do you call it? That pushes snow out of the way.
Snowplow.
Yeah, that. Like, so it kind of looks like a snowplow. All right. So once you've decorated those up, it's time to put them into.
I answered before.
It's time to put it into our book. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me see if I can remember how I did it, because I'm not entirely sure. Right. So this is going to fit into our book like this. Okay. So we'll need to just make sure, just say, for instance, right, this, if I close it, it's not going to pop out too much, if you see what I mean, because if we have it at a bad angle, you're going to see lots of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue just on that one flap, okay, just on that one flap at the bottom, like that. And I'm just going to decide where I want it. Let's just see if that kind of works.
It's no joke. This seat isn't no joke.
The angle, there we go. Okay, but this needs to be right in the middle. So that point there that we've got is right in the middle. So when that folds, the point is in the middle, okay? So let me just open that up. I'm going to just push that down like that, okay? So that is attached. So what we need to do now is attach this side so that when we open it up, that's going to stand proud, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this like that, get all of these bits out of the way, and I'm going to put some glue onto that flap there like that, okay? And I'm going to fold that over. Oh, is it moved? Oh, no, because it goes down like that, doesn't it? And I'm going to glue that down like that, okay? So when I open this up, that will stand up straight, okay, like that. So now I'm just going to go back and I'm just going to make sure that that is stuck really well, okay? So you can see how that goes together, all right? If you've got some bits that pop out, which I now have for some bizarre reason, I think I maybe needed to have moved these over a bit. It doesn't matter. Just put a flower or something over it. Okay, so that's how that goes on. And then this goes on in exactly the same way. So if you put some glue onto that one flap, that first flap, put it where you want it to go in your book like that, okay? Stick that down. Make sure that that point at the bottom is in exactly the right place. Then if you fold that like that, put some glue on there, stand it up, glue it down. Then when you close this, it should all pop up when you open it again, okay? So that is how your pop-up goes together, all right? There we go. You might have to just fiddle out a bit with this and just put them in a bit closer than I did. I think that's just out too far. That's all I've done there. But you get the idea, okay? That's how the pop-up goes together. It's actually quite simple. You've just got to make sure that you've got the point of your fold, of this V fold here. It has got to be right in the center of that fold there, okay? So all we've got to do now is just cut the photo mats that go into there. So final part, just cut your photo mats, and they are 4 by 4.5 inches. So cut 2 at 4 by 4.5 inches. Okay. So when you've cut those, these will fit in here. Into that space there that you've got. You can put photos on there, or you can decorate them up or whatever, but you've got space for photos there, and you've got space to put a couple of little photo mats on there as well.
It's 3D.
Okay, so the only thing that I've done stupidly is I should have moved these over a bit more towards the middle. My bad. So it just pops out there. If you've already done that, it doesn't matter really that much. You can just decorate it up, but I probably should have just moved them in a bit. But other than that, that is our first pop-up made. Okay, not a difficult one. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it made sense. Okay, So next week, what we'll do is we will do the card that goes into the back of here. So if you want some homework, what you can do is you can decorate up the next 2 pages, which are these 2 with the pockets, okay? So if you want to decorate up those 2, you can do that, ready to go on with our work next week. Now, we've heard today that, well, I don't know, if you were with me in class yesterday or whatever, I'm sure you probably heard me mention that my dad was due to have an operation, quite a hefty operation on Monday. It was cancelled on Sunday, but they've now rearranged for next Tuesday. So a lot of weeks, Lorraine, a big lot. Probably about 8, I would think, at least. I would imagine 8 plus. So they've rearranged it to next Tuesday. So all being well, I should be doing class from Dad's next week. But I'm who knows? Who knows? So if you decorate up your pocket pages, and then we'll get on with the more cardy like ones next week. We should perhaps be able to do 2, but we'll see how it goes. All right then, guys, if you've got any problems, just give me a shout, and we'll be back here next Thursday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Oh.